it should be a great one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he couldn't get rid of the football, trying to buy a little time, but he'll just tuck it and go down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. To throw is Brady. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jerick McKinnon, his second touchdown on the season.
And the Buccaneers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Now, early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He'll buy some time right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 30. They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
And the Bucs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Brady.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, now Brady. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. He's got his man. It's Gallup. Touchdown! Michael Gallup. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Bucs go up by 2 touchdowns. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Back to throw.
On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. In motion, the tight end. They'll run for it with Akers. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 55 yards.
And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
2nd and 5.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is, if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
He's got a man, complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
Brady now on 1st down. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass in the game for Tom Brady.
And the Buccaneers are able to add on to their first half lead.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. His throw incomplete.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second and 9 now. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Left side to Lamb.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They'll try and throw for it here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know what they've always said? I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
In motion right is Evans. So after the INT, it's Brady. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 5 touchdown passes now for Tom Brady.
And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. On play action, it's Brady. And this is caught inside the 5. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. The final shot before half for Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bucs will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. It's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We saw this franchise do this back in the 2009 Super Bowl. The Saints will start the second half with an onside kick. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. He'll let this go for the end zone.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. This is a diving effort by Evans. What a catch. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Up the gut, Fournette. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, McKinnon. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here again is McKinnon. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Brady going to go on 4th down. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.